Can't stay with us for the top picks from David Burrows? We can send them straight to your inbox. Each night, BNN emails the top picks and analysis from our roster of experts on Market Call and Market Call Tonight. Go to bnn.ca/subscribe to sign up for the nightly newsletter. You also receive Marty Say's commentary on the market-moving stories the next weekday morning. We're off to Burnaby, BC for Larry now. Hi, Larry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you please give me your comments, David, on the Canadian banks? Or you think they're fairly valued at this level? And in particular, Royal Bank, would you be a buyer at this level? Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Larry, I think it's really important in the market we're in right now to focus on the right groups and get the right characteristics. First of all, what we want is strong free cash flow and very strong balance sheets. Royal Bank fits that category. I think you want strong dividend policy. They fit that category. I think you can see dividend growth. I think that's positive. The financial services group, the banks, are behaving reasonably well. I will say the Canadian banks are underperforming their U.S. counterparts right now. We actually prefer, from an equity standpoint, the U.S. market right now to the Canadian market. So I don't think you're going to get hurt in RBC, and if you got to own one, it's as good a bank as you're going to own in Canada. I think you may do better in, believe it or not, a Citigroup or JP Morgan or US Bancorp currently than you would in Royal Bank. So we have an underweight position in the Canadian banks, recognizing it is a yield neighborhood to focus within, and it is a leader, Royal. I just think there may be others you do a little better in.
All right, there you have it, Larry. Thanks for that from Burnaby, BC. Let's go up to Edmonton now for Mike. Hi, Mike. Welcome to Market Call.
Hi. David, I bought Freeport McMoran at around $33 a few weeks ago, and I was wondering if your opinion changed and whether you liked the stock at the current price.
Right.
Appreciate it.
All right.
So, Mike, you may remember we've been very cautious on the copper companies, and in particular some of the big multi-metal companies. Freeport, I think the positive that it's got going for it is the fact that it's got the gold stream that it has coming through it. The problem is that each one of the risk rallies that's taken place in the metal stock has had less and less legs. And I think that you do have downside risk. This is the one group, the materials group, that has had no positive guidance coming out on this quarter. So guidance has been coming in lower. The expectation for the fourth quarter is that basic materials sector has a 22% bump in earnings for the fourth quarter, which I think is going to be hard to come by given some of the guidance that we've seen. So I do still think that there's risk here. It's a bit of a bottom fishing play. If you really want to make a bet that QE might help fix the economy, this is where those investors might go to speculate. I'm not seeing a sign that that's taking place. I'd focus on the things that will get helped by QE, and I think this is not one of those sectors.
All right, Mike, thank you for joining us from Edmonton. We're off to the local line in Toronto for Frank. Hi, Frank.
Hi. About tech resources, I heard China have already too much coal. Just wonder, is it a good buy today or just wait for the pullback? Thank you.
All right, tech resources.
Right, Frank, this really plays into that last question. I think that you're speculating and hoping that the data gets better. I would be cautious personally. I think that there are risks in the materials companies. Tech is basically a play on the whole sector, whether it's energy, metals, or coal. You know, our tendency is to look backwards. It's what's worked over the last cycle. I think if you look at what's working in this market, things like pharmaceuticals and healthcare, consumer staples, these are very different types of companies than what you're talking about there with tech resources. I would look forward to what's working right now and focus more on things with steady cash flow and predictability and a very clear rising dividend stream.
Time now for the Market Call Minute. All right, for Linda in Lethbridge, Thomson Reuters, buy, sell, or hold, and do you own it?
We do not own it. It's a bit lost in the wilderness. They're going through a big shareholder turnover, I think, and their major markets, financial services, are in cost-cutting mode, not spending mode. So I would avoid the stock.
All right, for Ron in Brampton, Ontario, and for a Twitter follower too, Silver Wheaton, buy, sell, or hold.
The precious metals group is one I think that absolutely benefits from all of this money printing and monetization that's taking place. For the first time in quite some time, precious metals companies performing well. I like Silver Wheaton. We like the group.
Do you own it?
We do not own Silver Wheaton. We own Silver Standard, but we own others as well.
For Linda in Toronto, Husky Energy, buy, sell, or hold, or do you own it?
I'd be careful of the big Canadian Western producers. It's not behaving particularly well. I'd avoid it.
For Ron in Surrey, Altria Group, buy, sell, or hold?
Altria Group, it's in the right group. Consumer staples. It's pulled back over the last little bit, giving an entry point. I could own it.
Do you own it?
Do not.
All right, thank you for your telephone calls, your email messages, and the tweets, too. When we come back, it's the top pick from David Burrows, president of Barometer Capital Management.